Hello, everybody, and welcome back to ACES. ACES 2026. I'm here. I'm the Gandhi man. You know me. I'm joined here by Knuti. How's it going, Knuti? Yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff to show you guys today. We got all of the team rosters that we're showing off. We got a brand new team logo. I'm really excited about that. And at the end of the stream, we got a big surprise for everybody. So make sure you stick around. There's a big surprise. What? You're muted? Oh no. You're so right. I fixed it earlier. Right now.
Hello, Sligo.
Oh, there he is. There he is. There he is.
Let's go.
We're working out all of the issues in this stream, so we
Yes.
don't have any during the matches. Excellent. Yeah, this is Knuti, everyone. He can speak now.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this season as well. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, without further ado, let's get into the teams, shall we?
Let's go.
First up this year, we've got the Gungathal Sabres, Ison, Vibholm, and Saj Bean. What a team. What a team.
Yeah, really
Ison, of
exciting.
course, Ace's story, you know. New runner in Aces 2024, now a pillar of the community. And then Vibholm and Saj Bean, two newer runners. You got any insight for me, Knuti?
Yeah, really exciting to see how this team will go this year. Like Eisen, of course, has a lot of experience right now. Like he joined the community around when the ACES 24 was about to happen, and currently he's like really good at slide 3 and slide 4, and he has a great role as captain of Sabres this year. Like last year, he went second with me as well and ATP in the Sabres team. And we'll see if he gets to the finals this year as well. But yeah, Vibholm is a newer Slide 2 runner. Very recently actually got the first any percent runs done. GG's on Vibholm on that. So Vibholm definitely brings a lot of Slide 2 skill to this team, which they of course need since Eisen only currently at least runs Slide 2, Slide 3 and Slide 4. So it will be cool to see Vibholm as well. Probably gonna be playing some Slide 2 this season. And then Saj Bean, newer face also to Slide community. He has played some Slide 2, I think episode 1 at least, in the past. But he's mainly like known as a Ratchet runner, also world record holder, at least former one in Deadlocked, and making his debut in Aces. So it'll be cool to see like if he's gonna learn like a lot of new Slide 2, maybe Slide 3. We won't know. Cool to see. And maybe overall, when looking at like team ratings, Sabres are currently ranked 8 in across all the teams. They have the coverage for all of the games, like Eisen can do 3 and 4, and then Vibholm and Saj can do some 2. It will come down to how much Vibholm and Saj are able to practice and learn during the tournament, so they can help Eisen with Slide 3 and Slide 4. So yeah, really cool to see this team this year.
Yeah, I think the runner ratings are a bit deceptive here, because I think this is a very strong looking team. You know, looking across all of the teams, all of the players, one trend we've already noticed this year: there's not a lot of Sly 4. Not a lot of people are coming into this tournament with experience on Sly 4. So I think, you know, Ison's got that 3 and 4 versatility. They're comfortable on Sly 4. And then they've got Slide 2. They have strength in all 4 games, and
Yeah.
you know that takes you a long way in this tournament, I think. All right, well, next up we got the England Knights, Ostrava, Slowy, and Vinny. Of course, Ostrava, been around a long time. I believe him and Slowy were on the Knights last year. Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, that is correct.
And then joining them is Vinny, longtime Sly 1 runner, Sly 1 coinless runner. but pretty new to the rest of the games. Of course, Sly 1 is not going to take you very far in this tournament. We don't play it. We do not play it. So it'll be interesting to see how Vinny Me picks up the other games.
Yeah, it will be cool to see. Like Ostrava, of course, has a lot of experience with all of the games, has been around in the Sly community for a long time, and I think his strongest game is definitely Sly 2. He also has really good Sly 4 times and can also manage with Sly 3. And Ostrava has been in ACES for all of the seasons thus far, last year with Knights ending up in 7th place. And Slowy is, well, yeah, he participated last year, was around that time quite new runner, but like right now he's like the world record holder in remaster episode 1 in Sly 2, which is like maybe if not the most competitive, at least among the top competitive episodes in the whole Sly scene. So that tells a lot about how Slowy has grown during this year. So will be cool to see Slowy playing Sly 2, probably maybe also some Sly 3. I know he has practiced that a bit as well. And then of course we have the Vinny, the coinless Sly 1 runner. So it's going to be cool to see what Vin is going to do this season. Like I heard, he's very excited to learn some Sly 3, at least a couple of episodes, maybe some Sly 2 even. I'd probably like predict at least that Vinny is going to be playing some Sly 3 for Knights this season. So it'll be cool to see, because Sly 3 is very different than Sly 1. So it's cool to see how Vinny is going to handle that. So yeah, Knights overall in the team ratings, they are placed 7th. Ostrava can play like anything really good, like base backbone basically to the team. I think if Slowy can play any of Sly 2, he can win a lot of time for the team. And then, yeah, cool to see this team as well. Can basically say this for all the teams. And one little knowledge as well, that during the past 2 seasons, Knights have not won a single game. But maybe this year is when the curse is broken. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see.
If there is one cursed franchise in ACES, it is absolutely the Knights. And let me tell you, we had a couple more options for team logos that were not picked, so nobody was forced to pick the Knights. These guys, they want the challenge, they want the curse, they want to break it. All right, well, why don't we move on? Next up, we got the Paris Peacocks. Look at this.
The French team.
Nist, Luffy, Cooper, and Antho. We got 2 Frenchies on the team. Antho, of course, was here in, I believe, ACES 2024. Missed last year. Yes. He has no runs on the boards. He doesn't even have a speedrun.com account, so he's kind of a mystery, you know. And then Luffy Cooper, newer runner, and Gnist. Everybody here knows Gnist, obviously. This will be an interesting team for sure.
Yeah, everyone probably knows Gnist, a very skilled slide runner in all of the games, has a lot of experience. Gnist joined ACES last season for the first time. They make it all the way to 5th place with Lumberjacks back then. And well, Gnist is not as active these days, but still has like a lot of experience, a lot of versatility, and can really carry his team a lot as well, and also like probably teach Luffy and Anto on thing or two about the games. So probably depending on how much practice he's able to do during the tournament, I think he can also compete with even world record tire runners in this season. And well, Luffy is a newer runner in Sly Cooper speedrunning. I think he joined the community last year. Has played some Sly 3, but mostly Sly 4, which is probably gonna be like his main asset for his team this year. So it'll be cool to see him play and join the ACES this year. And Anto, yeah, like you said, a little bit lesser known French runner. He's quite a question mark because we don't really know like what kind of PBs he has. He just comes and runs, and yeah, he was with Jackalopes in the first season and they made it all the way to 4th place, so that's a lot. So I think Anto's Sly 2 skills can definitely help Peacocks this year as well. So I'd say this is a very interesting lineup, and I think it's gonna come down to Gnist a lot, like how he plans like drafts and how he can support the team as like the captain. So it will be cool to see this this year as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, with 2 French players, of course, they had to go with the Paris Peacocks. It's only fitting. Niston
Yeah, they are the
Chat
home
is
field.
adopting his new nationality. Maybe we'll see them in Slide 2 Episode 1 and absolutely destroy on their home turf.
That is true.
All right.
Can't wait.
Next up, we got the Kunlun Vampires with Crystals. Some may know him as Riley, Stevens, and of course Prof PS2, the All-American team.
USA.
Yeah. If any Americans in chat want to root for their country, this is the team to root for. Riley's been in the community forever. He's a master of Gauntlet. Of course, if he wants to play Gauntlet in this tournament, he's gonna have to play the rest of that episode too. I don't know if he's been practicing that or not. Maybe he has. Maybe he'll be a menace on that episode. And then he's been doing a lot of Slide 2 grinding. He's got some big PBs. Stevens, another Slide 1 runner converted to Slide 2 through 4, mostly 2. I think he's been doing some 3. And the Professor's been in every tournament we had. He's played every game. I think he's probably most comfortable on Slide 2 though.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, Riley's this is his first season in ACES, making him an ACES debutant. And I think he's one of the best Slide 2 runners this season, if not the best. Like, I think it was like a week ago when he got a new any percent PB, 448, which is an actual GOAT time. So I think if Riley ever gets to play Slide 2 this season, he can help his team a lot. Although I think that because, well, how the tournament and how the drafting works, I feel like Riley might have to play more Slide 3 or Slide 4 this year. But I think even if he can't play Slide 2, he can really support Stevens and Professor as like a master knowledge holder of Slide 2. So I think indirectly he can also help his team that way. And yeah, Stevens has also been Stevens has been in the ACES seasons as well. Like, I think best placement is from last year. They made it all the way to 3rd place with Bombers. And yeah, like you said, Stevens mostly known as Slide 1 runner, but has really solid Slide 2 times and also Slide 3 times. So a lot of versatility there as well. And then Professor has run pretty much everything. Can play like Slide 4, can play Slide 3, can play Slide 2, but I think like you said, the asset of Professor is if he can play something he's comfortable in Slide 2, I think that's the best case scenario for his team. And Vampires are ranked 5th in the overall rankings, and I'd say the biggest strength is in Slide 2, and Slide 4 is the weakness probably, because Riley is probably going to be the only one who is really able to play that game. So I think how their matches are gonna go is gonna depend a lot, like what kind of episode Professor is gonna get. Like, if he gets an episode he's comfortable with, I think Vampires can destroy their opponents. I think so. So drafting is gonna matter a lot for this team. So good luck, Riley, for that.
I think if they can get, everybody on the team to learn some new episodes, learn some Slide 4, if they can manage to get Riley on some Slide 2 episodes,
Absolutely. That's
build out their weakness, fix that, and then they'll be able to really utilize their strength. But if they can't, if Riley's gonna be half familiar with whatever Slide 4 episode he ends up playing and he never gets to play Slide 2, it's not gonna go well for them, I don't think.
Yeah, I'm afraid.
Alright, next up, the Prague Bombers. We got Mapioto, Little Leaf, and Mixtura. Mapioto, of course, highest ranked player this season. I mean, for a few years now, maybe a couple of years, he's actually just been tearing up like all of the boards. I think it's pretty uncontroversial to say that he's the strongest runner in the tournament this year.
Yeah.
And then we got Little Leaf and Mixtura. Mixtura is a newer runner. And Little Leaf sort of in the middle, I guess, I suppose. What do you got to say?
Yeah, I think Leaf has experience in both Slide 2 and 3. Like, he hasn't really submitted runs to SRC, but I think he has done Slide 2 full game, so he can play in pretty much everything. I'm not sure how good of the times he has, but he has some experience. And also I've seen him stream some Slide 3 as well, at least like the beginning couple of episodes. So bringing like important knowledge on those games. And yeah, Mixtura, newer runner, has already done like any percent in Slide 2, which is really cool. Like I've been following his streams when he's been running and learning Slide 2. It's been cool to see his progress he has made. So that's gonna be really cool thing for Bombers. They can trust that they will have some Slide 2 knowledge. And yeah, Mapiotto, the Spanish slime master, can run pretty much anything and get like world record times. So so it's gonna just matter like what he's gonna get in the drafting for Leaf and Mixtura, and then he can just take anything else. Although Mapiotto has like recently played more Ratchet, so I don't know if he's been a little rusty in the Slide games. Although knowing that he likes to grind a lot, I would bet that he's been also de-rusting a lot. So it's gonna be cool to see what Mapiotto got this season. But yeah, Bombers have their 4th highest rank this season. Although that is mostly due to Leaf not having BBs on speedrun.com, and we use those times for the ratings. And well, their strength is in Slide 2, but I think it's a bit hard to say what happens if they only get one Slide 2 episode per match. Because if, for example, they get a Slide 3 episode Leaf is not that comfortable with, and then Mapiotto has to play Slide 4, I think that might be a little uncomfortable for them. But that's gonna come down to like how they do the drafting and try to prevent that kind of situation.
And with the lack of Slide 4 runners that we have this year, it'll be interesting to see, what teams' attitudes to that are, because you could go into it and say, hey, look, our opponents, they're not comfortable on Slide 4. We're just gonna aim for like a 2 Slide 2 episodes, 1 Slide 3 episodes sort of draft,
Yeah.
And then you can play to your strengths. Or you could say, hey, our opponents are not comfortable on Slide 4. Let's grind out some Slide 4. Let's get really good at like 1 episode, and we'll pick that straight out of the gates, catch them off guard. There's 2 sort of strategies there, and if you pick the wrong one, if you're betting the other team doesn't know Slide 4 and actually they've been grinding it, you're in trouble. I think another thing that's going to really benefit this team is, you mentioned Leaf and Mixtura both done Slide 2 any percent runs. So that means they're familiar with all of the episodes. It can be
Correct.
It can be a problem with newer runners that they have zero flexibility. They say, I'm gonna learn like 2 episodes and we're gonna pray that they don't get banned. Obviously Little Leaf is not a newer runner exactly, but Mixtura is. So having, okay, at the very least, both of these guys can play every single episode, competently. That's a good thing to fall back on if your plans don't go perfectly.
Yeah, that's good thing for drafting, because it gives you a lot of freedom if you don't have to pick from 3 different episodes and try to make your opponent hopefully not ban those. So it gives them a lot of freedom for drafting, and maybe gets a chance to pick something from other games that they may save some time.
Yep, the more versatility you have, the more you can pick episodes that your opponents are bad at, rather than just the ones that are the only ones you're good at. Well, Next up, this is our brand new team name, team logo. I'm just gonna take a moment here to talk about Frizz. If you don't know, all of these logos, all of these graphics that you've seen, all made by Frizz, and I mean, you can see for yourself how good a job he's been doing. He is just a legend. And so without further ado, here are the Kinderdijk Giants: Fly Sonic, Teke, and Inferno. Brand new team name, brand new team logo. Sonic, everybody here knows Sonic. I think he's been in both seasons. won ACES 2025, did not do well in 2024, so sort of both ends of the spectrum there. Take another Sly 1 runner who has come in and gotten some good Sly 2 times. And Inferno is another new runner in last year's ACES. Coming back again.
Yeah, like Sonic is obviously like very experienced runner, been around for a long time, has played all of the categories pretty much. And yeah, in first season in 24, they placed 10th with Knights, and then last year just won the championship with Remo and Gosmi with the Jackalopes, so both ends of the spectrum. And I think Sonic's strength is definitely in Slide 4, which he played last year a lot. He's very skilled in that, has really competent times, and if they get Slide 4 and Sonic on their matches, they can win a lot of time. And he also has really solid Slide 2 times, has been playing on PS5 lately, can utilize that time save in the episode where it matters. So a lot of strength in Slide 2 and Slide 4, maybe less in Slide 3, but can play that as well. And Take is known as a very talented Slide 1 runner, both original and remaster, but also has really good Slide 2 times. Can also do Slide 3. I've seen he has some pretty decent PBs on Slide 3 as well. He participated in the first season of ACES with Peacocks. They ended 9th that season. And during that time, Take played a variety of Slide 2, different episodes. Maybe this year, Slide 3 too. We'll have to see and wait. And then Infernal, he joined ACES last season for the first time. They were 4th with the Peacocks, I think accompanied at least with Bacon Man. He has some full game experience with Slide 2. Also some Slide 4 episodes. I think last season he played some Slide 4 as well. Well, there are not really any top level times PBs, but having just the basic experience and information about a lot of different episodes gives you the valuable asset of having the versatility and being able to like do a lot of different things, because, well, as mentioned before, having that freedom for the drafts really helps out, because then you can focus more on, for example, your opponent's weaknesses. And in the team rankings, Giants are placed 3rd. I think they have really great strength in Slide 2 and Slide 4, but it's gonna be hard to say how they will perform if they went to a match with, for example, some more difficult Slide 3 episodes like 3-4 or 3-5. So I think it's gonna depend a lot how much Inferno is able to practice. For example, if he's able to practice Slide 4 a little bit and their team can start with a Slide 4 pick, I think that's gonna be a good move against a lot of different teams with less Slide 4 experience. So it's gonna be cool to see this team as well.
Yeah, absolutely. You said it, I'll say it again. Having Slide 4 experience is it might be a big deal this year. But yeah, the lack of Slide 3 experience, could be a problem. If there's a lot of teams out here they want to play Slide 3, it's not so hard for them to say, hey, these guys can't play Slide 3. Hit them with the 3-4, like you said, hit them with the 3-5. What can they do? So they're gonna have to figure out how to shore that up a bit. And our next team, we've got the None of It Lumberjacks. We got Knuti. What? You're on this team?
That's
ATP
crazy.
and Austin. Of course, you have to have the Canadian on the None of It Lumberjacks. Knuti, we all know Knuti. ACES champion. I can't remember what year that was, what team that was, who his teammates were, but I'm sure they were very cool, whoever they were.
I think they were very cool. I agree.
And then ATP, newer runner last year, right? Or was he experienced last year? I don't know. You know.
Yeah,
You're
ATP
gonna
has
tell.
had like experience already like before, but I
Gotcha,
think
yeah.
last year he really popped up with the ACES.
And then Austin, newer runner to Fly 2. I know I've been verifying a lot of Austin's runs, and he's gotten some good times. He's been putting in the work for Sly 2.
Yeah. I think he's Austin started like last autumn, putting some more time into Slide 2, and well, now in Aces for the first time, really cool to have him on my team. He has gotten really solid times in some of the episodes already, and he has the PS5 version of the game, so in some of the episodes where PS5 is its time, he can utilize that also to get some extra advantage. And yeah, ATP last year making the debut in ACES, making it all the way to the silver medal placement with Eisen and myself with Sabres. Last season, ATP focused mostly on Slide 2, but it did also practice a little bit of Slide 3 in case that was needed. So maybe this year ATP gets a chance to show some Slide 3 skills as well. We're gonna have to wait and see. And yeah, like ATP has really solid foundations on Slide 2, has pretty good 80% time, also a lot of episodes has a competent times there. So really important thing to have that kind of coverage for the team, and then also the little versatility to also be able to play some Slide 3. And then yeah, myself as there there as well. Champion 2024, never forget. Yeah, Venice Vipers forever. Yeah, I can play pretty much everything. I'm best at Slide 2 and Slide 3, but I have also played some Slide 4, so I'm pretty much there to, like, I think last couple of seasons I've been there just giving my teammates some good episodes, and then I've been playing whatever is left. So that's worked out pretty well. I've got 1 gold medal, 1 silver medal. We'll see what's gonna happen this year.
Yeah, I think that's something where you are unique in that you have 2 excellent aces, performances on your belt. I don't know if anybody else has made it nearly that deep twice. And then
I think Mapioto comes close. I think he has 1 third place and 1 second place.
Oh, he has 1 third place? Gotcha. I thought he had I thought one of his seasons was weaker, but yeah, so he's close. But you've got him on that, and then ATP of course was with you in that last year's run. So I think obviously we have some strong runners here, but I think even more so we've got some strong aces players, because it's not just about the running. It's about the strategy, about picking which episodes everybody's gonna practice, and you've got 2 years of experience. You've probably played more aces matches than anybody. That might be true. I'm not confident on that. That might be true.
I think I'm leading the statistics there. But yeah, I like to think it's so that, well, we're playing 3 episodes per match, but then there's the 4th episode, the draft part, and that is what I like to focus a lot with these games. I may not put that much practice into the preparing, but then I like to really try to analyze the opponent and then my own team, try to see what are the weaknesses, what are the strengths, and how to plan the drafting so that we are always getting something that we are comfortable with running. First season it worked out really well, only 1 loss, but then last season Jackalopes just were too overpowered for us, sadly.
Well,
but yeah,
we'll
this is Lumberjacks.
Yeah, I mean, if we get a Lumberjacks victory this year, you might be the Aces GOAT. But let's not.
I may have to retire at that.
You might have to retire. I retired after 1. So. Well, we got one more team to look at, and it is the Bloodbath Bay Buccaneers, Bacon Man, Neil, and Yamada. I mean, Bacon Man is another one of those guys that I'm like, yeah, this guy, you give him any episode and he's gonna be great at it. A lot like Mapioto, in that he'll just put up crazy times, especially in Slide 3, but he plays the other games as well. Neil, first time Aces player. He's got that Slide 2 and Slide 4 experience. Very important to have that Slide 4. And then we've got Yamada, who is a very high tier Slide 1 runner. Now getting more into Slide 2 with some good times. What do you got for me, community?
Yeah, Bucks this season are the best overall ranking in when we come and look at the ratings, and obviously the really solid backbone for the team, Bacon Man, can run basically anything similar to Mapioto and maybe myself. Like has high tier times in slide 2 and slide 3. In slide 3, obviously a couple of world records at the moment as well. And even on slide 4 has really solid times there. And even like if he ends up having to play some slide 4, he can play that and get some good times there as well. Bakerman has been in all of the ACES seasons so far. In 24, he ended up 7th with Vampires, and I think last year ended up 4th place with Peacocks. Maybe this year, podium, even finals. We'll have to wait and see that as well. Yeah, and Neil is making his debut in ACES. Neil has some full game experience in both slide 2 and slide 4, and obviously that gives a lot of freedom as well if you're able to play like all of the episodes. Yeah, I don't know how much like Neil has practiced. He hasn't been that active lately. I think I haven't seen him stream Sly lately, so a little bit of question mark, like what is Neil's status at the moment. So we'll be interested to see what the team is going to draft for him to play. Maybe some Sly 4. If so, that's going to be really valuable for the team. And then Yamada has played Sly 2 a lot, has some any percent times a respectable PV there as well. Also a little bit of Slide 3 experience, which is really cool thing as well. What else about Yamada? Yeah, cool to see Yamada play something else than Sly was as well. But yeah, overall, maybe I'd say that Buccaneers have really good chance to make it all the way to the finals. They have really good lineup. Bakerman giving a lot of versatility for the team, and then in case Neil can play both Slide 2 and Slide 4, that's gonna help a lot in this season because, as said before, like there's not that much Slide 4 experience at teams, so having 2 players able to do that is gonna be a great asset. And yeah, that's gonna be it. Bucks, I'm rooting for you.
I think I might be wrong. My memory is not great. I think have the Buccaneers done well both years so far? Is that right?
First year, Bucks did well. They went to finals, but I think last year, let's see, they were 5th last year.
Okay.
I think they went the second round of lower bracket.
Okay. Right. Well, that's all the teams we got for you. But the question remains: who are they playing? Who's playing who?
Yeah.
Well, let's take a look at the bracket.
Oh
this
my
is
God.
our bracket for this year, everyone. Look at that. Let's go through the matchups. We got the Knights versus the Vampires, Sabres versus Buccaneers, Bombers versus Lumberjacks, and Peacocks versus Giants. Let's talk about the Knights versus the Vampires. What do you think, Knutu?
Yeah, I think if we look at like team ratings, Vampires and Knights are quite similar. So I predict that this is going to be a tight matchup between these two. I think the first round picks is going to be focused mostly on the third runners, so Professor Alvini. So I'd say, at least if I had to guess, there after the first round of picks, there's going to be 1 episode for Slide 2 and 1 for Slide 3. That's my prediction. And then I think both of the teams would favor a second Slide 2 episode, so having double Slide 2 and then Slide 3 as the lineup. But I think because, well, Knights know that Riley is like smoking hot Slide 2 player right now, so they might try to prevent that from happening, that Riley gets a chance to play Slide 2. So I think it's also possible that they are gonna mix up some Slide 4 there in the draft as well. But I think my prediction is that there's gonna be double Slide 2, so there's gonna be Ostrov and Slowy racing Riley and Professor, and then in Slide 3 there we are gonna have a Stevens versus Vinny, which will then decide who will continue on the upper bracket and who will go to the lower one. So I think this is gonna be a very tight match coming up. Maybe small advantage on Vampires.
Yeah, I think I favor the Vampires here as well, but I do think if the Knights go for a Sly 4 pick out the gates, then maybe I might change my mind on that. If Ostrava's like really grinding that Sly 4 and the Vampires haven't been, I think that could be big. And also it's kind of a question mark how much Vinny's gonna have ready.
Yeah, that is true as well.
Because Professor, at least he's got, he's got all of the episodes at least to like he can do it. If you throw him in, he's done maybe not all of the episodes, maybe like 2-4, 2-8 maybe aren't polished off quite as much, but probably you ban the do you ban those? Because you'd love to have Riley on 2-4, 2-8. I don't know, it's tough. They'll have to figure that out. But I like the vampires, but I agree that one's gonna be a good matchup. That one's gonna be close.
Yeah, I think the draft is gonna pay a lot of I think the draft is gonna be in like big emphasis in that match, like because if Knights can do something really cool in the draft, then it might shift the advantage on Knights' end. But yeah, gonna be an interesting match to follow.
Next up we got the Sabres and the Buccaneers. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Buccaneers having the best team ranking at the moment versus Sabres, who were 8 on the rankings. Like, if we put this on paper, I think Buccaneers are likely to continue with a win after this match. But in this tournament, anything can happen. Like, the draft is gonna play a lot of, have a lot of like, it can change the outcomes a lot. And also, when we practice a little bit in secret, a lot of things can happen. But yeah, I think Neil and Satch being like both are big question marks because we don't know really much about like what is their status with practice and de-rusting and learning. Like, what are they gonna be able to do when the draft comes live? So that is still a big like uncertainty before the match. I think with the great experience from the other speed games, I think Satch Bean can really definitely like learn a lot of episodes quickly to a good level. I have my trust on on Satch on that end. And then if Neil is able to de-rust a lot of Slide 2 and Slide 4, I think he can well manage with those as well, like basically any episode. I think Yamada and Vipholm, who are going to be facing in the opposite teams, they're quite similar runners in a sense, like both have played Slide 2 quite a bit, have 80% experience. Yamada has the advantage that he has also played a little bit of Slide 3 and also has run for a longer time, so maybe a little bit more experience in the Slide 2 front as well. And then on Slide 3 and Slide 4, we got Eisen and Bacon Man there. Like, they're quite close, like both of these runners are very close in terms of Slide 3 and Slide 4, I think. But then Bacon Man has the Slide 2 experience, which Eisen does not have that much.
Yeah, it might not matter though, because the rest of the team might pick up the Slide 2,
Yeah, that is true. I think for the draft, Buccaneers are Team B, correct? Yes.
Yes.
So they get the first pick. I think it will be most likely an episode for either Neil or Yamada. So
Slide 4?
I think most likely, Slide 4 could be. I think if they want to play it safe, it's going to be Slide 2, but it can be Slide 4 as well. Putting it that for Neil, I think that can do a lot of effect for Sabres. Because Sabres definitely want at least one Slide 2 episode, at least one. So that's going to be their first pick, I'm going to predict that, like no matter what. So then it's going to, I don't know, because Whipholm and Satch both being, they both at the moment have only Slide 2 experience. So I think either one of those two have to practice some Slide 3 as well if they want to battle for the victory as well. So I think the most likely scenario, in my book at least, is that after the first round of picks, we have Slide 2 and Slide 4 picked, and then final game will be from Slide 3. That's my prediction at the moment, at least. So I think then the matchup is going to be Eisen versus Neil in Slide 4. Then Slide 3, we got Satch Bean versus Whipholm. Satch Bean or Whipholm versus Bacon Man, and then which one of those are going to play still Slide 2 is going to be facing Yamada. So on paper, I think Buccaneers are going to clear out, but anything can happen in this tournament and in the draft.
Yeah, I like the Buccaneers as well, but I do think it's a lot closer than the ratings might say. The first versus 8th in the ratings. I think that'll be a good match, but I like the Buccaneers. All right, we got Bombers versus Lumberjacks. Who do you think is going to win between you and somebody else?
I hope we are gonna win.
I'll go for you.
I think it's gonna be a tight matchup. Like looking at the team differences, like somewhat like different, similar kind of teams. Like we have both like Mapiotto on Bombers and then myself on Lumberjacks, quite similar runners. In a sense, Mapiotto of course has the advantage in terms of skill in all of the games, like compared to me. But like we're both like versatile runners and can do like any episode needed. So it can most likely might be that the last episode that is picked is gonna be for us. And then ATP on Lumberjacks and then Leaf on Bombers, both runners with experience in Slide 2, in full game even, and then also some Slide 3. I think ATP has the advantage in Slide 2, but then Leaf has maybe a little bit more experience in Slide 3, so that like evens it up. But I don't think there's that much difference like for either of the games. Quite similar runners in a sense. And then also the third runner is also quite similar. Like we have Mixtura and Austin, both kind of a new Slide 2 runners. Mixtura maybe has a little bit more advantage. He has played full game as well. I don't think Austin has yet played full game, unless I'm mistaken. So it depends quite a bit like what episodes are going to be picked for Slide 2, because I think for some episode Austin can really have the advantage over Mixtura, and for some others it can be other way around. So draft is going to play a huge role as well. And Mixtura and Austin also both have PS5, so that's going to be interesting as well, in case they are meeting in some episode. Not going to comment too much about drafting because I'm playing and don't want to reveal any of my secrets there. But yeah, I think overall I'm going to say that if the match ends up being like one game, for like it's like we have one Slide 2, one Slide 3, one Slide 4. I think in that scenario Bombers might have a slight advantage, since Mapiotto can save a lot of time in Slide 4. Like he's actually goated and might save like couple of minutes over, for example, if I have to play Slide 4. But if Slide 4 is not in the match, then the advantage can shift to Lumberjacks. But I think it's gonna be a tight match either way.
Lumbers might be trying to prioritize that Slide 4 pick in that case, and perhaps Lumberjacks are looking for a Slide 2 episode that Austin is comfortable on. If he's not comfortable on all of them, you know, knowing that Mixtura could be just fine on that episode that Austin's not comfortable on.
True.
Yeah, I feel like both of these teams are among the favorites to win the whole thing. They're certainly both in the conversation. I wouldn't be surprised if the loser of this match, you know, goes all the way through the lower bracket and then it's a rematch of these two teams in the finals.
Could happen.
But yeah, I really think it could go either way. There's nothing indicated, because you know Mapiotto, stronger runner, Nuti is the stronger ACES player, and then like you said, you know, the rest of the teams are pretty close. But we'll go ahead and look at the next matchup. The last matchup, we got Peacocks versus Giants. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, at least like when looking at the team lineups, those are like very different. Well, we have Sonic and Knist on opposite teams, like both runners who can play pretty much anything. In Slide 4, Sonic has advantage over Knist, and in Slide 3, Knist has advantage over Sonic. In Slide 2, I think they're pretty even in terms of skill at the moment. Then, well, a lot of teams have these question mark players. I think in this matchup, Inferno and Anto, those are the big question marks. We don't really know that much about like what kind of skill level they have at the moment and how much they are able to practice. So that's adds some uncertainty about the outcome of this match. Anto played in the 2024 ACES season, a lot of Slide 2, so I would at least predict that that's gonna keep on going as well. So I think Inferno also would be happy to play some Slide 2. And then Peacocks, they have Luffy Cooper, who is mostly focused on Slide 4, and I bet that Knist would love to have Luffy play Slide 4, but Luffy also has some Slide 3 experience, so that is also possible that he might play that as well. And if I think about the perspective of Knist, it might be hard in the draft to like try to decide like who am I gonna like pick target as the first big target in a way. Like, should we pick episode for Anto or should we pick an episode for Luffy? Like, who is gonna be getting the most comfortable episode for them? Because well, you only have one round one pick, and then after that, it's very uncertain like what you're gonna get after that. So it's gonna be interesting to see what's going on in Knist's brain at the moment. And then Giants, they have Takoe as second runner. He can do slide 2, he can do some slide 3 as well if needed. And Giant is team B, yes, correct. So they can have the first pick. I think they're gonna pick something for Inferno right away. So most likely slide 2 episode, since most likely Giants don't want to keep a free slide 4 episode to Peacocks because Peacocks have Luffy Cooper. So then slide 2 is being picked, so then Peacocks can then pick slide 4 for Luffy. Then we would have Anto versus Inferno in slide 2 and Luffy versus Sonic in slide 4. And I think if this is the scenario, then Peacocks could force either slide 3 or slide 4 in the draft, so they can get Takai out of his comfort zone from slide 2. So then Takai has to be facing Knist in the final episode. So well, draft strategy, how teams are prepared for the draft, that's going to be playing a huge role, like always. So if you make a few correct choices, you can really get the advantage over how the match is going to be. But then if you do some errors in the drafting, then you might give that advantage very easily to your opponent. So, interesting.
I think of all of the matches in this first round, this one is the most likely to have 2 slide 4 episodes. I don't know if I think that it will happen, but I think it could. I think it could happen.
It is most likely that this is the match if one of
if
these
it's gonna happen,
that's gonna happen.
It's gonna be this
one.
Yeah. I think I like the Giants here, and I think it's because I think Knist is probably washed. That's what I think. He's got a very high rating because he's a legend of the game. But he's been kind of inactive. He's welcome to hop on the game and prove me wrong. I mean, he's been streaming lately. I think he's been practicing. I'm not gonna say he's not been practicing, but will it be enough? Will he have the fast enough times to counteract Sonic's slide 4? Or will he be able to get Sonic off of slide 4? I mean, that would be big. That would be big. But
that would be.
Yeah, I think I like the Giants a little bit, but again, it's really hard to say. I think these are all going to be very close. I think, really it's anybody's tournament to win, anybody's match to win. Do you have any tournament favorites? Looking over all of them.
Yeah, I like to rely on stats, and if looking at stats, I think Buccaneers are. I think on my paper, Buccaneers are the favorites, but it has the question mark, like what is the status of Neil, like how much Neil is able to practice. Like if Neil can run slide 2 or slide 4, I think Bucks are my favorites at least to go to the finals. That's my prediction. Of course, I want to say that Lumberjacks all the way to the end. We're gonna have to see what kind of opponents we are getting and how the drafts are gonna be. But the Buccaneers are my favorite.
I think Lumberjacks. Yeah, I think Lumberjacks are a good pick. I think Buccaneers are a good pick. I like the Bombers. I think my sleeper pick is gonna be Team USA, Kunlun Vampires. Riley's just. I mean, he's at the top of his game. I feel like, and if they can leverage that, they can go really far. But like I said, everybody's got a shot at it. All right, well, those are the teams. Anything can happen. Those are the teams. Those are the matchups. We got one more thing to show you all, and I'm going to let Knuti take it away.
Yeah, I had an idea I think maybe 1 month ago or something, not that long ago, that ACES competition 3rd season, we have a lot of cool stats. We have a lot of data about this season, and I know in the community we have a lot of people who are interested in that data and statistics and everything. So why not make a proper website for that, so you can follow up how the ACES are going, what's gonna happen, and how's everything going to look at when you put the data on display. So we have now aces.slygoals.com, a website designed for ACES. So here's, for example, the homepage. We can see we have the upcoming matches for the first upper bracket round. We have the tournament bracket here. You can see how it's gonna update when we get the match results. And then, well, nice thing here is that we can switch the previous season as well. So we can see, for example, last year's end results. We had the Sabres versus Jackalopes grand finals over here. And, well, we can even go check out the first season when we had the Swiss rounds. So very cool to see what was up back then. Well, you can see here in the nav bar, we have a lot of cool other things as well. We can go to players page at the first, where we can see all the players this year's, how their ratings are gonna go, and well, after we have some match results, we can also get these statistics updated. One cool thing here is the all-time button. We can also see the all-time statistics. Like mentioned earlier, I lead the matches total number, but then you can see the win-lose record, for example, how many seasons you have participated, and then what it has been your latest rating in each game, and what you have run the most in the ACES. And well, we can also take a look at the individual player page. Let's go, for example, to my page. We can see here that all time I have been now in 3 seasons, 14 matches, and so on. First season with Vipers, we made it all the way to the end, as well as with Sabres, but then we didn't win. And then we can see the matches here, all kinds of cool stuff, or how my rating, for example, has been evolved throughout the years.
One thing on this page, hold on, I want to interrupt you. One thing on that page, if you can go back, that I really found interesting is this episode win percentage. If you look at the top right, for every match, or if you go down to the matches, you can see this is the result, but then on the right, that's whether or not you did your episode faster than the opponent runner. So you can see that second to last match, even though his team lost, Knuti won his episode. I think that statistic is really interesting. That's not really something that we've been looking at before, but thanks to this website, we can see that.
Yeah, that is a cool percentage you can follow as well when you look at the individual runners, how often do they, for example, win their matches. I can, for example, go to Bakerman. We can see here Bakerman has won all of these matches apart from the very last one where he didn't finish the run because his team had lost already. So Bakerman, I think, might have the best percentages here. But then we can go to teams page, where we can see the current year's teams and also the average ratings. We can see, for example, last year when we had the stats all available as well. We can see, for example, Jackalopes with the clean 5-0 record here with 100% win rate. And for example, if we want to do some speculations, we can, for example, sort by rating this year. We can see for example, how in the ratings the lineups may go. And let's say I'm gonna look at the Giants page here, for example. Here we can see who are running here, what kind of ratings they have this year. Actually, let me go to last year and put, for example, Sabres, because now we can a little bit better see what kind of stats there are, because now you can see, for example, the episode win-lose records. We can see the win percentage, how the matches have been for each of the team. And then one thing I'm actually interested in is the draft decisions, what kind of decisions did the team do during the drafts. So, for example, interesting insights here is that, for example, our team Sabres never did anything with 3-2 and 3-3, and let's see, for example, we never banned slide 3 during the second ban round, and most of the time picked slide 2 as our main pick. So a couple of cool insights there as well. And well, then we can go to the matches page. This is the last year statistics. We can see here that we have the upcoming matches here for this year. But for example, we could look at last year. We can see the match types and who have played. And then if we click here, we can see who also won the match. So then we can, for example, look at the final match, grand final, Jackalopes versus Sabres. Here we can see the match results, who was in the commentary, and how did the relay actually go, like what kind of episodes they were, who played against whom, and so forth. And we can also see the draft, how that went. Cool stuff, cool stuff. One more thing in the site I think a lot of people like as well is insights about the individual episodes. So here we have all of the episodes and then statistics about like how they have been picked, how they've been banned in round 1 or round 2, how many times they have, for example, made it all the way to the final pick but never picked, then who has the best time in the ACES, and here's one interesting statistics I added is the leg win percent. So if your team won this particular episode, what was the percentage that they also won the entire match? So here's, for example, for the last season, but we can also talk about all of the seasons, so we can see cool stats here. One thing I actually like to see is, for example, 3-6 we have here only has the leg win percent of 17%. So even though it was won by a team 5 times out of 6, that team actually lost the match. So interesting things. You can see, for example, the most picked episodes 2-3, very common, as many of you know. Least picked 2-4 and 2-2 as well. Interesting. Yeah. That's kind of stuff there is. If you have like any comments, if you see any false data or anything, you can DM me. I'm happy to fix things. If you want to go here as well, or all by yourself, you can visit the website called aces.slygoals.com, which I hope should be live now. If not, it's gonna be appearing soonish live to that domain. So you can go there, browse all these different sites, take insights, do some analysis, whatever you want. Feel free to use it as you wish. It's been fun to develop this one, and it's still in continuous development. So, cool stuff, cool stuff.
Awesome. Well, we're really excited about this year. We've got a lot of, cool new technology. We're going to have a lot of exciting ACES matches like we do every year. If you're not already in the Discord, what are you doing? What are you doing?
So true.
Join the Sly Goals Events Discord. That's the best way to get notified about all of these matches. Also, you can just check our website, because they're going to be on there. They're going to be scheduled on there. What are you doing? So just look forward to further announcements when we get those matches scheduled. Yeah, the website, it'll be up soon. I promise. That's a Gandyman guarantee. Yeah, well, with that, I think that's all we got for you for the kickoff. We're really excited. You got anything else to say, Knuti?
Yeah, I'm just really excited myself as well. Can't wait for our first match and the first match overall, because I think the round 1 of the upper bracket there's a lot of interesting drafts, interesting matches coming up, so can't wait. Really excited about this season.
All right. Well, join the Discord. Go to the website as soon as it works. And
it works now.
It works now. Excellent. We will see you all next time.
See ya.